I'm going to walk you through a finished journal so you can have an idea of what it is like to work in one of these and what your adventures and your trips will look like. So you can see my journal has gotten a little thick since it's got lots of photos and memories and awesome things in here, but it's still very small and will look great on your shelf and people will be excited to flip through them. So you open to your first page and I have added my favorite photo here, where we went, and the dates. And then the first section is preparation, and so I just did some journaling about what we were thinking about this first few days of our trip and how excited we were for it and kind of why we were going, what we were doing. But you do whatever you want on these pages. That's the beauty of this journal, is that it is totally open and you can use it however works best for you. And then the next thing is a packing list, which is so very important. And then a travel checklist. I used mine to check off and list things that I needed to do before we left, like notifying the credit card, downloading the maps, getting tickets to different places, things I wanted to do. And I added a photo here on this art page. And then the next is the itinerary. So these are really nice because these are all just blank. So you can do with them whatever you would like. It worked out well since I had 4 days of the trip. I was able to write a quick itinerary afterwards to see what we did. So I did these before we left. This was kind of like a checklist of things I wanted to do, museums I wanted to go to, food I wanted to eat, sites I wanted to see, and things I wanted to do. And then each day I wrote down what we actually did that day, kind of how these fell in the day. So that is a kind of an itinerary trip at a glance, but you could do it however you would like. And then this is just a blank preparation page. So I just made a list of things that I was looking forward to, like bread and more bread. So you can do whatever you would like on this page. And then the next section is your travel log, and so there's a space for you to add a photo here. It says add your first photo, and this is one of my first photos as we were waiting to check in and we had all of our luggage. And then the details pages. They have a space for the date, you can circle the weather, and you can write your location. And then you just have journaling space. You can add in pictures or little things you pick up each day. You can write about your day. You can make lists about what you did each day, or you can see I just journaled normal full sentences here, but it's up to you. And again, the same thing. In the weekend book, you have 4 pages like this, and in the Globetrotter book, you have 20 pages like this to continually add into your book for each day that you're gone. And then this last page is just some open journaling space. So I just kind of did a summary of how much I loved this trip, added a favorite photo here, and wrote Amsterdam, I love you. And then this last section is all about documenting your trip. And so it says favorite moments, and I added in 2 of my favorite photos from the trip here. And then this memories page, you can do anything you want on here. So I doodled, I added some pictures, I did some journaling. It's very simple. You can get as crazy or as simple as you like with these pages. And then next are the top 10 highlights. So I drew these lines because I like to have them to write a little straighter, and wrote down my top 10 favorite things. I added a favorite photo here and wrote some little notes about it. And then next is the success and failures page. So I wrote things that went really, really well and things that did not go so well, and added some photos in here. This is one of my favorite pages, the observations and enlightenments. So I use this to write things that I learned, that I saw, that I loved, that were really helpful. And I just make a quick list here. I do this kind of as I'm traveling, and then when I come home and I'm reflecting back on it. And then next are expenses, and so I've added in my receipts on this side, and then I just made a list of things that I spent here, did the total, and said that it was absolutely worth it. But you could have thought it was too pricey, or it just happened to be such a cheap trip. Whatever you think. And then these pages are just extra for journaling or adding things in. So I added in my favorite snack wrapper, a subway ticket, and kind of wrote about each of these things here. And then I filled in the Mad Lib. So this is kind of set for you, but it's really fun and you can kind of add in and change whatever you want here. So mine says, this was the most delightful trip. My favorite part was walking the canals. I loved all the color. The most epic moment was eating special cake. The biggest failure was eating special cake. We laughed so hard at Terrell and the cake. The next time I will remember to ride a bike. Goodbye, Amsterdam. Will always remember you. Love, the Hoopers. And then this is just another blank page that you could add more journaling or anything you would like in here. And then that is the end of the book. So this was really fun to fill out, and so I cannot wait to see what you're going to do in your book.